My name's Elijah, and at 17 years old, I tried to take my own life.
I feel like this is the last hurdle I need to jump over in order to beat this whole mental health issue I've had since 2016. And I feel like this is the last hurdle. I mean, I've felt better than I have in the last 3-4 years. I'm in the best mind state I've ever been in, the best situation I've ever been in, the most opportunities I've had. And hopefully I can close this chapter of my life with this video. So yeah, this is what I'm just going to be talking about, really. Just my growth since moving to England, or moving back to England anyway. How have I changed since us moving to England? Am I any better? Am I any worse? How have I changed since we moved to England?
Well, talking about the ways you've changed for me is talking about the ways you've grown, because that is what I've been seeing in you is just growth since we moved back to London. So you have come out of your shell a bit more. You seem to be more confident, happy to try new things. And I think one thing that I really like is the fact that you're not afraid to try something new and follow your heart and do something that you really enjoy. And you're obviously willing to put the time and effort and work into it, which is a really good thing. So I feel like you're kind of cool now too. It's like,
Kinda cool now.
no, seriously, like we have chats, we have conversations, we talk about life, and it's like a whole different side of you. And yeah, it's really good.
How would you say that the first year or two we spent in England, how would you say I was acting then?
Well,
Be as real as you want.
yeah. Well, it was a very challenging time. I'm going to be completely real. It was very challenging for all of us. And it was very challenging for you. And I feel as though it was difficult at the time, but looking back, all I can see is how far you've come since then. Like all the experience, the life experiences and everything. You've just sort of turning them all into positives. You're using them to become more confident and more progressive and taking charge of your own life, and that's amazing. I couldn't have wished for any better. So yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot of issues as to why we moved back. The main one being family, I guess. We had a big family collapse, if that's what you want to call it. I won't go too much into detail because there's a lot of shit that happened, and I'm not gonna put everything out there. But it was tough, man. I mean, it was tough. A lot of family made me feel like I was the reason for the divide. And even if they knew it or not, that's how they made me feel. I was 13 at the time. I was young, impressionable, and quick to believe other people. So I felt like the driving reason as to why the family got separated, if you want to call it that. And yeah, we just came to England with nothing. We had no money, no aspirations, no family to turn to, just a lifelong friend. And yeah, that was in 2016, November 2016. And now 2023, so 6 years later, we're stable, man. Like, I've got a job, mom's got a job, starting up a business. I've got side hustle on this YouTube shit. I just, I'm not gonna lie, we're very financially stable now. Like, we're not rich, we're not even middle class, but it's just like we've never really been, we've never really cared to have, millions or even hundreds of thousands. Like, I'm perfectly happy with just having a chill life, especially after all the fucking mess I went through as a teenager, I wanted to have a simple life, you know. When we came back to England, we went to therapy, which is crazy looking back on it because I never thought I'd ever have to get therapy. And I was against it at the time, but I was like, fuck it, why not? So we all went to therapy, and I got diagnosed with psychodepression, which, yeah, was not the best feeling because, I mean, it literally has the word psycho in it. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. To this day, I still don't know how to feel about that. But it's something that happened, I guess, and things just, I couldn't get past that mental hurdle. So I just kept getting worse and worse, and by sixth form, I was ready to end, man. Like, I didn't want to do shit. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Everyone else was gonna go off to university and pursue their shit. I mean, think of the time, I was 17 at the time, right? People figured out what they wanted to do until they were 64, 65 years old, which is crazy. That's more than 3 times the life I've already lived. Like, that's ridiculous to know what you're gonna do for that long. And people had all their shit figured out, and I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I was working a job that I really didn't like. It was just nice to be able to have some money. And yeah, I didn't know what to do with my life. I thought I was just missing the mark completely. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really have too many friends. I just had people I was cool with, people I played the games with, 2K, FIFA, COD. I didn't really have no close friends, you know, people I could just turn to on a day-to-day basis. It was killing me inside, man. It really was. And it happened, man. I tried to commit. There's no other way to put it. I didn't talk to anyone about it. No one really found out about it, which was good for me because that means I could control who found out and who didn't find out. But yeah, no one ever really found out about it. After a while of talking about it with a therapist, I decided to tell my mom, and I don't know to this day how she took it. It was just something we never really talked about afterwards. I just told her, and that was it. Tips for people going through the same shit I did, man. Don't be afraid to cut people out of your life. And the way I fixed my depression is I focused on myself. Like, I was my own company. Everyone who I felt was taking the piss out of me or out of my life, cut off. I lost so many good friends because of that. I don't talk to so many people now because of that. I literally have I could count on one hand the amount of friends I have now. And I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly, because they would have just held me back, kept me in the same spot, and I wouldn't have grown as a person. Because if you rely on no one, you're gonna have to rely on yourself. And if you can't rely on yourself, then what's the point of you being independent? So having to rely on myself and to make myself feel better, have to depend on myself to get things done, it increases your confidence, increases your work ethic, helps me stay grounded. It's nothing but positives. So honestly, yeah, do what you need to do for yourself. The second thing I would say is find a hobby. Find a hobby, whether it's music, whether it's making videos, whether it's playing games, whether it's reading, whatever it is. My hobby, my favorite thing to do in my spare time is to listen to music. I like making shit, like the video you're watching right now. Honestly, I just love doing random shit. It's almost like a mental block. You know, if you spend time doing things you want to do, you don't think about all the other shit. Sorry, bro. Oh my fuck. I can't believe I'm fucking crying over this shit, man. The Look, always be yourself, man. Always be yourself. That's because if you're not yourself, you're playing a character. And I played the character for the better part of 3 years, man. And it sucked because I felt like the only way I could be liked, the only way I'd be able to get somewhere in life is if I act like someone who wasn't me. And the past year, I've been getting better at just being myself, saying what I feel like, saying what's on my mind, treating the people the way I feel like they should be treated, not to have to deal with any bullshit. And honestly, I think I'm a better person now because of it. Look, nobody's perfect. I'm sure as fuck I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And I know there's a lot of people who, if you say my name, they could think of a million reasons why they don't like me. And it's probably justified. But at the end of the day, you are your own best supporter. I know there's the saying, you're your own worst enemy. But honestly, you can flip that. You're your own best advocate as well. Be yourself, find what you enjoy, pursue that, and do whatever you can do, man. Like, I've been postponing this video for about 3 days. This recording itself for 3 days, because talking about this shit hurts. Because at a time I really felt like this almost consumed me. It almost consumed my mental state. It almost consumed me as a person, to the point where there was almost no going back. And if I had succeeded on that day, I mean, I wouldn't be able to make this video, first of all, but I wouldn't have been able to realize that I'm more than just a fuck up. You know, I have so much more to add. I have so much that I feel like I have to do for myself, for my family. And now that I have a goal, I'm going to work relentlessly till I get that goal. And that's all there is really to it.